Welcome to the Working Man Committee podcast. I am your host, Brandon T. of the Brandon T. Show. What up, people? So, check it out. So, the government has been shut down for, let's see what we got so far. We are shut down for 28 days. Government, federal government, full stop, can't pass anything. Now, go check it out. It's funny, right? It's like these government funding bills and so forth, appropriations, they had to do it. I want to say they do it every year. They got to do it every year. And then for some reason, they don't want to do it. Now, you would think that's part of the job is to pass spending bills. You know, do we go give the employees a raise, military raise, and all the other functions that the government does. You know what I'm saying? They got to sign off on it every year. So I'm like, watch y'all do it. Watch y'all go ahead and get it started, the business of the government. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get that going. And so they keep running in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, it's always one of these, you know what I'm saying, bargaining chips to keep the government going on. And I'm like, who are they bargaining with? Now, granted, you know what I'm saying, it's like, you get the, you know what I'm saying, this time around, the Republicans are in office, you know what I'm saying, President Trump, the Senate, Majority Leader John Thune, I do believe his name is, and Mike Johnson of the House, you know what I'm saying. They got all these, but you know what I'm saying, to pass anything in the Senate, you know what I'm saying, or in the filibuster, you need 60 votes. And so they've not been able to get to the 60 in the Senate. So what they've done, or supposed to have done, is like the House supposed to pass a quote-unquote clean CR for about, I think they did it to 7 weeks to keep negotiating on the money. And I'm like, what have y'all been doing the whole time? I mean, why can't y'all up there, you know what I'm saying, y'all go in front of people, give me your vote, give me your vote. You know what I'm saying, I will do X, Y, Z. And then y'all get said vote, and then y'all go up there, and then y'all don't take care of the business. So my thing is, what are y'all actually doing? And so forth. You know, and they say, well, we're using the shutdown for Obamacare, you know, subsidies and so forth. And the crazy thing about Obamacare subsidies and that they keep, you know what I'm saying, keep referring to that they need is the fact that they didn't make them permanent when they put them in. They did it around when Biden was in there, they gave it another extension and so forth. But they didn't say, all right, we're going to keep these subsidies in place. And so they're like, oh, Obamacare is unaffordable if there's no subsidies. And so, but that contradicts on what they supposed it did when they took it over back during Obama years. It's supposed to, you know what I'm saying, bring the cost down, but it really didn't bring the cost down. All it did was shifted the cost in a certain way that maybe should have been shifted or shouldn't have been shifted and so forth. But I don't know. I mean, you know, you can look at it and determine, well, there's subsidies, what they should pass, and Obamacare was just the wrapper. So my question, my thing is, why y'all didn't just give subsidies out? If you can get a subsidy, you can set up a thing and then subsidize that thing. Or y'all could have left everything alone and then subsidize what people already had. But I mean, that's too simple, you know, right? You know what I'm saying? You got to make it real complex to make sure you really did something. Like a politician getting voted in, and then they need to build a building, name a road, build a street, or something that says, hey, I was here, and so forth. But like I said, that's I digress. But you know, back to the government shutdown. So they have attempted 13 votes to fund the government. 13. It's been 13 in the last 28 days. The last one being a vote of 54 to 45. And when they needed the whole 60 to get there. And I mean, they grabbing a Democrat or two or so forth. But you know what I'm saying? It ain't enough. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be enough. And so the government going to continue to shut down. And let's see what it says here. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, the Senate, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, after the Senate Republicans on Capitol Hill, Vice President J.D. Vance said the Trump administration has found ways to pay members of the military on Friday, but not provided details. So J.D. Vance and the Trump administration and so forth found some more cash. So I do believe they used some of the tariff money to pay him one time. I think somebody else donated some money to pay him. And now now they're looking to move some more money around to pay the troops. And like I said, the fact of the matter is, like I said, the Trump administration and so forth is kind of playing this. I want to say that they're playing it well because, that took away we need to pay our troops argument. Like every other shutdown or every other threat of a shutdown, they always care about our troops. So what the fact of the matter is that the Trump administration is finding the money to pay these people. It's kind of, throwing a tad bit of cold water on the Democrat side of saying we need to pay our troops, and Republicans being able to hold the line, as they say. But like I said, so what we also have here is like, okay, we got 25 states and a district of Columbia filed suit against the Trump administration over the plans to withhold food aid under the Supplemental Nutrition Act program. Snap. And so forth. I'm like this. It's government shut down and there's no money, and there's nothing flowing, and they're stopping SNAP. Ooh, well, I mean, can you sue somebody to pay something if you ain't got no money to pay them? I don't know. So they argue that the law requires the government to provide funds for November. The benefits for the 42 million Americans that are due to run out as of Saturday without funding. And so the states are like, hey, they supposed to give us the money for November. Congress is shut down. They didn't appropriate the money for November. You know what I'm saying? But they're like, oh, the money should come from somewhere in November. And see, the federal judge has indicated, barring that the Trump administration from firing people, because like I said, the Trump administration like, all right, you know what? You shut us down. You know what I'm saying? We gon', you know what I'm saying? You saw what those do, but I can do better. And so forth. And so the federal judge has stopped him like, oh, yo, my man. The judge like, yo, my man. You know what I'm saying? You furlough, you know what I'm saying? You let them go home, you don't pay them, they don't bother, they ain't flicking no lights on, they ain't no office, they ain't beating on no keyboards, nothing. And once y'all figure it all out, they all come back to work. And Trump's like, I don't know if we need everybody. You know what I'm saying? We might can do that whole department over there, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna cut it back, you know what I'm saying? Businessman style. And then, you know what I'm saying, a little side note, you know what I'm saying, I know that, I have said in the past that we need a businessman president. I've said that before. I think it was around when Romney first popped out and wanted to run for his first time he wanted to run. Like a businessman, you know what I'm saying, a businessman, maybe this country should be run like a business. And I thought about that a lot, you know what I'm saying, should the country be run like a business? And I'm like, okay, the country's in a ton of debt and so forth. And with them being in debt, you know what I'm saying, the country takes in a lot of money, spends out a lot, you know what I'm saying, what could be done different? And then so, you know what I'm saying, looking at, you know what I'm saying, things run as a business. So let's see right now what things have been run like a business for the last 28 days. And so agencies that are furlough rates, you know what I'm saying, the EPA has 88.6% of their employees furloughed. So there's nobody working at the EPA. Now, you can say, hey, do we need the EPA to do stuff? Like, man, maybe the EPA. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a joker right now probably spilling something they shouldn't be spilling and causing a problem that shouldn't be causing. And he like, yo, we get caught, we ain't clean it, but we gonna go ahead and do it now. Maybe some of them folks at the EPA need to be there. Department of Education, 86.5 furloughed, leading to a delay in the Pell Grants, student loans, and other civil rights investigation. Now, so where are we at right now in school funding? You know, so we still in the first semester. So everybody that's supposed to got the money, you know what I'm saying, was good. You know what I'm saying. So the next semester starts in December. People gonna need more Pell Grants and student loans and so forth. So now, I mean, that's getting a little hairy. And there's like 86.5% of them sitting at the house doing nothing. And all the students and everybody that's entitled to something gonna need something. So that's a rough one. And then, you know, I said NASA has furloughed 82.9 of their employees. So now, you know what I'm saying, I'm like this. You got the 3-eye atlas out there. Y'all heard about that. It's funny how once it got closer to Mars, that's when the government shutdown happened. Hey, it's a coincidence. Maybe so. I don't know. Maybe they were looking at it like, oh, we don't want to see no pictures out there. Might be something strange. And so we at NASA can give you the picture in 4K going on 5. But everybody else, giving you, barely can see it. So, but I don't know, But like I said, it's passing. It's about to come into view again, as of, the 29th of October, which is tomorrow. And so maybe maybe they're trying to hide something. I don't know. Then you got the Department of Commerce, 80% over there, and the Department of Labor, 75%. Hey, man, we need labor. We ain't tracking nothing right now. We don't want no numbers to come out. So a majority of them going. And then the services that are cut back. Health and Human Services has the CDC that's supposed to be monitoring stuff. Will be hamstringed from providing guidance and so forth. So now we're in going cold and flu season, and the CDC ain't really around, so they ain't doing too much right now and so forth. So I think we might need to be that. And then like the Food and Drug Administration, the safety inspection on our food. Let me say it again. The safety on our food is, they ain't doing that right now either. The IRS, the way they're taking the money in. Taxpayer assistance is difficulty to get, and some of these positions may be eliminated. So IRS, they're cutting the IRS. So like I said, you got some questions about the IRS, you better ask the AI. And hope the AI know what to talk about, because ain't nobody answer the phone over to the IRS. And then, if you want to go to your favorite national park, can't do it. They cut down, the facilities are closed. And they're not taking out trash, maintaining roads, they ain't doing nothing. It's just all going down. For the last 28 days, it's only been 28 days. How much road and trash could be in 28 days? How much monitoring and so forth? I don't know. And then, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, delay in processing, now you're like, well, how you HUD? Some of those HUD loans, they do mortgages also. So if you're trying to buy a house and you're using one of the government's old-backed loans, not just a conventional loan from bank, you may blow your closing date if your closing date is within these government shutdown. And then the Small Business Administration, don't even worry about it. They ain't got no money for you right now. Federal loans is halted. Nah. If your business needed, $5.58 to get over the hump, they're not giving you $5.58. Your business is closing doors, and hopefully you can open them up when they open the thing up. And then the one of these important things that the Republicans are thinking about is immigration. We've been talking, ICE been out there getting busy, but wild thing is, with the government shutdown, the hearings may be canceled because of the government being shut down. So it's like, ICE doing the work and there ain't nothing happening. So, but that might be strategic also. The court ain't closed. I'm gonna drop you off in your country, and then we'll send you a court date to do on the computer. Hopefully, you got a good internet in your country. Yeah, so like I said, it's so much happening over here, so the government being shut down. So back to what I was saying beforehand about needing a businessman in the office. It's like, you gotta be able to, I think it's gotta be able to split the baby on that one, because the country being in a better financial situation, I get that, And like I said, there's always money for conflict, always. So they could find, right now, if they needed to find some money for a conflict right now, Trump would go in his sock and pull it out. And when he's saying $1 billion, we need these bombs over there, so they'd do it. But everything else, for the people, like, student loans, I pay mine off myself. Why can't you do it? You need some food assistance. Well, why can't you go to work and get your food assistance? I don't care if you work for the government, y'all shut down. You should go work for somebody and get your food assistance. You know, it's like I said, it's all these things and so forth. But as looking through it in the lens of the working man, it's like, yo, some of it is, you know what I'm saying, you can see that some things are good and some things are bad. Because like I said, you know, you right now, I think the worst part about it is, though, real talk, is the TSA. And the air traffic controllers, because people still want to move around, you know what I'm saying? And now, you know what I'm saying, you got people that's doing that stressful job ain't getting no money, and they, you know what I'm saying, you want them to do it for free, and you know right now, you probably, a Joe can't get you to move his couch for free, help move his couch across the room for free, and you talking about working a whole shift, overtime included, with no money. But like I said, this has been the Working Man Committee podcast. I am your host, Brandon T of the Brandon T Show. And like, subscribe, and share the show. And we'll talk to you later. Peace.